Good day, good people. Sis and Dreets are here. Today we are going to show you how we make paratha our way. It's different in that we do not use ghee or margarine. Instead, we use unsalted butter and coconut oil.
So to start, we have our ingredients laid out. This is 1 pound of flour, 1 1/4 cups of chilled water, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of oil. Now the reason I'm using chilled water is because I generally treat this the way I would treat pastry dough. So I try to keep everything cold so that when the butter goes in, it stays cold. And the word of the day is to relax. So when you make your dough, you have to let it relax. When it is you put the butter in it, you have to let that relax as well. It's a very relaxing process. It's not anything to rush. So we're going to start.
Baking powder, brown sugar,
Or white if you have it. Give this a little stir. And make a well in the center.
some water,
And a little oil. So some of the oil we keep in reserve for when we're finished with the dough. We just give the top of the dough just a little oil so that it doesn't crust. Now, don't be afraid to get your hands in there and really work your dough. It is an underdeveloped dough, so you're not kneading it too much. You really want a soft dough. Different brands of flour, just be wary or take note that you might have to add more water to ensure that your dough is well hydrated, not sticky and wet, just enough that the flour comes together. Right. So what the oil actually does, for me, it helps the dough really get tender. And when it is during the rolling out stage, it helps the dough stretch. So this is the ball of dough doesn't need to be smooth because the relaxing stage does all of that. Just like when we relax, we feel good. When the dough relaxes, it's going to feel very good, literally. So we have to cover this now with a damp towel, be it paper towel or cloth towel, or with plastic wrap. And that's just to help not dry out the dough so that it doesn't get a scab.
and how long you leave it for?
And just let it rest for about 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. So I just gave my dough a couple turns, and this is what it is we have. It's very, very pliable, as you can see. So I'm going to turn this out onto the wooden bench, just giving it a dust of flour. Turn this out. I'm going to put this one side. I'm going to flour it. Turn it. So I would weigh this out, but today we're just going to eyeball. So you're going to get 4 balls. Average weight is about 190 grams to 200 grams. So I'm going to take a quarter, put it in my hand. I'm going to use my other hand with a little bit of flour, and I'm just going to roll like this and rest it down. If that is too difficult for you, you can, of course, dust your hand or the residual and just kind of tuck it under, rolling it onto the bench.
Use your fingertips to tuck
And you're
it
using
in.
your fingertips to tuck it, to giving it gentle force so that it will come out like this. I want you to see, if you can, already you have little bubbles happening, which is good. Your baking powder is very active. So that's important because baking powder can die if it's left in a cupboard for too long. So I'm just going to do this. So just pay attention to my motions. I'm going to roll. Roll and flip. Now we don't need to roll it out until it's very thin. It's not necessary. But as I said before, when I mentioned the coconut oil, it just allows your dough to just flow. I give it one more roll. And this is me here. So I have butter, softened butter, room temperature being around 20 degrees. And I have an offset spatula. I'm just going to take some. I average about 8 to 10 grams. And I spread. This is similar to if it is you are doing cinnamon rolls and you're using butter and you're just spreading it very liberally. This butter replaces the ghee that will traditionally be done at this particular stage. So for me, I like using the butter because I'm a little bit lazy and I didn't want to make the ghee. And I do believe that the milk solids in it actually help the paratha get softer and stay softer longer. Could just be me, but it's how I like to do it. Take a little bit of oil. I was shown this step and I wasn't really given a reason for it, but I realized when I don't do it, when I roll, it sticks. It doesn't flow very nicely. Cut. Work with me here. We're rolling, 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 rolling. Manipulate your dough, don't be afraid. We've reached the end. I want you all to see. I have a bit here. I'm taking this and I'm doing that. Pinching, pinching, taking this tip, sticking it all the way in. And this is your loyah. Not lawyer, loyah. And I move on to the next. So these are your 4 loyahs. So we're going to let it rest in the refrigerator for anywhere up to an hour to 4 hours or even overnight. It can go longer. If so, then I recommend you put it in the freezer. And when it is you're ready for it, take it out of the freezer and put it into the refrigerator for it to thaw out in a cool environment. And you'll know when it's ready because if you give it a poke, it won't be feeling stiff. It'll be just soft enough but still cool, and you'll have a good time rolling it out.
All right, we are going to roll out our dough now to make the paratha. What I have here would be 4 balls that I got from the dough that we needed before. I've had it in the refrigerator. I'm now going to use one to make the first paratha, and the other 3 I will put back into the refrigerator so that it will stay cool and the butter will not melt. You may need to tap it a little bit because the butter may have gotten a little bit solid while it was in the refrigerator. So we tap it, yes. And I've dusted my board already. So I've loosened it up to make the rolling much easier.
Now when it is your rolling, you have to a light pressure. You don't want to press down too hard on your rolling pin because you're going to end up bursting the dough and squeezing out the butter. This is very similar to how you do pastry. You keep your dough cold, and if the butter has made the dough a little bit firmer, you'll pong it out the same way, and then you start rolling, just like what she showed you just now. This is a lot of work. She has to put her back into it. But this is actually how we do it at home as well. She would roll and I would be the one on the tower. It is a two-man job. When it is you're doing it by yourself, it is a little bit tedious, but the end result is always very tasty and very good.
It's important too that you let your dough relax in the rolling out. And Sis will explain what I mean by relax.
Well, as I mentioned before, the word of the day is relax. And the reason for letting your dough relax while rolling it out is so that it can continue to stretch, because you might end up where you're rolling, and you realize, but hey, the dough is not moving anywhere. When dough relaxes, it is then able to expand a little bit more. Now, the reason that we keep flipping is because you want to also ensure that your butter is not oozing out from either side of the paratha. And it is important to try not to have that burst, because when it goes onto the tower, it needs to retain the steam, build steam inside of it to cook and separate the layers. I have my oil here. This is just pure coconut oil. Other people would use ghee. That's fine as well. That is how it is traditionally done. I'm just very lazy when it comes to clarifying butter. And yes, I know I can buy it, I just refuse to. And I found along the way, similar to naan, which uses yogurt, that the milk solids in the butter actually, for me, help the paratha. So if it is you're on a diet, throw that diet away and eat the paratha. You'd see traditionally the ladies making roti, men and women making roti, they wouldn't use a brush like this. They would have a kind of like a cloth brush that they dip in. I've never made it, so I just use my trusty silicone brush. And it's okay while cooking paratha if it gets little brown spots. That is fine. Just note that those brown spots will be slightly crunchy, crispy. If it is you don't have a problem with that, then you're good to go. If it is you find you have too many brown spots, you can turn down your heat. So for me, this is finished. I'm going to beat now. And I have here cloth and some wax paper. Now, I would sometimes do this on the tower, but when I don't feel to do that, because it continues cooking when you do it on the tower, I just put it in a bit of wax paper and a cloth that I have no attachment to. I roll it in and I actually beat this against the counter, and this just loosens the layers. I'm going to unroll this. Your paper would be mashed up a little bit, but that's fine. The paper is ready just to protect your cloth a little bit. It's still going to absorb some of the oil. This is very hot, but it is busted. This is also what we call bust up shut. My hands are burning. You can see the layers coming apart. Woo. Guys, if it is you have very sensitive hands to heat, I don't know what to tell you, Gloves not going to help you, it's going to hinder you. This is your paratha. These are your layers. Oh, that is very hot. So we just have our little bowl. And we just put this into. I really, really, really enjoy making parathas because I have always loved
Plain with flour.
well, aside from playing with flour, is the memories of eating paratha long ago, going by our neighbors, and I mean, the paratha used to taste
Sharing.
awesome.
Yeah.
You know, they bring it out in this big bowl, and everybody just taking from it, and it, like that was such a nice feeling. You know, so I too wanted to do that at home. So I said I'll go and learn how to make it, and I had a wonderful teacher, and I just tweaked the recipe to make it my own. So this is our finished paratha, and of course with that we had to have two lovely vegetable sides. We did pumpkin and we did bhaji. Now obviously on another day you might have a bigger spread, but for us today this is just how we wanted to showcase it. Show the sides with the silky paratha.
This is our paratha here. Oh my goodness, I'm going to dip it, huh? And I'm a greedy person, so take a little bit of pumpkin. I love pumpkin. Very nice, very, very tasty. Excuse me. Yeah, boss. Oh my
I
goodness.
didn't show my facial expression. She's so extra.
Try it.
Should try my own stuff? I will. Very creamy.
Tastes good, huh?
Oh, that's delicious.
Yes, it is. It's a tasting.
I did not make the
really
bhaji. It is delicious. This is really authentic.
Homemade, nothing like homemade paratha. Very, very good and tasty. It's not oily, even though you saw we use butter and we did use oil. This is not an oily dish. However, we know there's a lot of fat in there. So I am not on a diet. I don't think I have ever been on a diet, and I won't be in anytime soon.
I do hope that you give this a try, make it your own, add garlic in between if you want to give it a little extra flavor, something, but try it. You're really going to surprise yourself. And it's okay if you don't get it on the first try, keep on trying. That's how I did it as well. The first time I did it, it was a ball of dough. And then I kept on doing it, and that's what we have today. And I know the more I do it, the better I will get at it. It just keeps on giving.
Yeah, it tastes really good. Practice makes perfect. Yeah.